Good morning to you, Mr. Doe. Hope you're doing well. All is well in the Pure Destination Studios, other than trees being down from the storm. Yeah, study. I think this is pre-recorded, but they are still acting up. I think this is pre-recorded. I I agree with you, Sonny. It is entertaining. I haven't heard about the Ice Age and cosplayers out there, Emerald. I would have liked to have seen that. I would have liked to have seen that. I'm not too far from Palm Beach myself, Sonny. Matter of fact, we had a storm the other day, and I got a big old 40-foot palm tree laying down between me and my deck, so I can't even get out there and go fishing right now. And I don't know that it's legally allowed that you can't go fishing on your own deck because of a nature thing. I think God should have to come pick that thing up. Yeah, I'm here, man. Good morning. I was here earlier, but I just didn't catch you in time. Yeah, I'm here. I was getting a glass of iced tea. I remember, Sonny, I remember that. I just don't remember the other part. But yeah, I'm here. Mr. Tired of Biden's bullshit. I'm here. See, I just had to go in and make a glass of tea because I'm in South Florida and it's hot already down here, brother. And since it's not a beer for breakfast morning show day, it's just a glass of iced tea and start the day. See, good old iced tea out here in the Obscure Destinations Outdoor Studio, live in Lake Placid, Florida, um, playing the game. Yep, that's usually how it starts. Yeah, I saw you here earlier, tired of Biden's bullshit, but I think I was getting a cup of coffee when you posted, and I replied like 3 minutes later, and he was gone, just like now. I think. I think he took off with it. I was hoping the star attraction of the Beer for Breakfast Morning Show, Toolman, Toolman Tim, was going to show up, but he didn't yet. Whew. Oh, look at that. Hey, y'all can't see it, I don't think. But right there on the other side of my screen is a 4-inch grasshopper, and he is about to be fish bait. He just don't know it yet because right underneath him is a pond. He's about to get his ass fish bait ate. Reasonable protest. Fuck around with that horse if you want to. I got tired of watching the war stuff last night. I've seen enough of that in real life, face hand, first hand. I don't need to see no more of that shit. Yeah, I don't think you're all that peaceful. You'll find something more interesting to, because this is getting kind of boring. It's all blah, 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 blah. There we go. That's something a little more fresh. Oh, it's so quiet though.
And also, where's the location of some of the nuclear material? Was it still in these facilities, or was it spread out around the country? We don't have answers to that. I understand we have some new photos from inside the Situation Room. If we can put those up, seeing these for the first time. This is, there you see Marco Rubio, you see President Trump, you see Pete Hegseth there on the left. Vice President.
It's kind of nice to see that J.D. Vance had time to put his
sure at what
eyeliner on.
Stage of the operation these photos were taken, but these now just being released by the White House. Clarissa and Jeremy Diamond here with me in Tel Aviv. Dawn has come. No air raid sirens so far here in Tel Aviv. That's good news. Hearing from Fred that the Atomic Organization is pledging to continue their program, that's probably not encouraging news to the White House or to anybody.
No, I mean, I think we have to be realistic that there will be some bluster and some braggadocio in the coming days, and we don't necessarily need to take it all literally, because some of that will be intended for domestic consumption within Iran. We've also heard, I should mention, from the Houthis, the militant group in Yemen. They've said, quote, that Trump must bear the consequences. Again, not clear what those consequences would be, but we have seen them firing ballistic missiles.
Very strong statement from the President of the United States. We're learning, by the way, that some Republican U.S. lawmakers were, in fact, told in advance about these strikes on Iran. Sources telling CNN they include the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, and the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune. But top Democrats on the House and Senate Intelligence Committees were kept in the dark. That's what we're told. Their Republican counterparts were briefed, even though they all are members of the so-called Gang of Eight, who are usually almost always notified before major U.S. military engagements. I want to bring in right now our senior White House correspondent, Kristen Holmes. Kristen, what are you learning from your sources over there about this major decision? And as I keep saying, a historic decision from the president.
Yeah, Wolf, I've been talking to a number of people, including people who have been briefed on what happened in the Situation Room. Just a couple of things to mention. One, he was surrounded by a lot of his top advisors and highest ranking officials. We know his chief of staff, Susie Wiles, was in the Situation room with him when this happened, as well as the the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, the Vice President, J.D. Vance, the Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane, all of them there when he made this very incredible and important decision, as you noted. Now, a couple of things I want to point to that he said here, because this goes to the heart of what they are hoping to achieve tonight, in addition to doing what President Trump has said that they wanted to do, which was take out the nuclear sites. That, of course, will remain to be seen what exactly is left. They also say, these administration officials, that they are hoping that this strike is a one-time strike and that it brings Iran to the table to have some kind of deal. And you heard this in what President Trump was saying, essentially attacking Iran over and over again, but then saying Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. There is a belief that this strike will, one, have obliterated their nuclear program, but two, if that is true, bring them to the table for some kind of negotiation. The other part of this that I want to point out here is the fact that President Trump thanked Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister.
Only the gay vets said that. All vets didn't say it. That should say vets with dishonorable and other than honorable discharges refuse unlawful orders.
Cracker's just hanging with his old friend. Beer for breakfast, what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it two. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Again, pop that top. Again,
Preston's missing. We gotta find him. That hooker in the bathroom was dead when I found her.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Beer for Breakfast Morning Show with the Lake Placid legend, Toolman Tim, and me, the Obscure Ron, and I like to keep it that way. We're coming to you live and local from the Obscure Destinations Studios in Lake Placid, Florida.
Come and get it!
No, not that Lake Placid. Stick around, have fun, laugh while you can, and remember to like and subscribe and tell your friends about us.
Beer for Breakfast Morning Show is brought to you by Ground Up Remodeling. Tim will take care of your needs from the ground up. Truly one of the best in Lake Placid, and we wouldn't let anyone else work on our handyman or home improvement needs. Call Tim today.
Hello, everybody. We're here.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's Saturday. I need to change that because today Tim is with me. I need to change the doohickey. And here we are, alive and local, and doing that thing we do.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Man. Yeah, go ahead, man.
It's nice to come back. I've been on a little layoff, working.
Yeah, Tim's been working his ass off, and I've been not doing that.
Oh, you got work to do now. You got a tree down.
I had a couple thoughts on that tree. We can cut it into sections and just roll it off of the spaces on the dot. Just roll it and let it flow where it may.
Float away.
Flow where it may.
I just pile it and pile.
Yeah, that shit's heavy. There's no way. There's a huge palm tree.
Yeah, it's got to be a
It
foot
fell.
around.
Yeah, it fell. It's big. It fell on my property. You can see the video over at Obscure Destination. Well, wherever you're at.
It was live too. It wasn't a dead tree.
No,
That surprised me.
that's what hit me too. Because I told Tony, I said, if it was a dead tree, we could pick that up and cut it up and move it. I could take my big swing blade and just knock it down and kill it and get it.
Yeah.
This monkey ain't moving like that. That's a big
chainsaw
bitch.
time.
Yeah, that's a big bitch. And we already learned that we're not going to use crystals chainsaw to cut anything out because the cleanup time ain't worth it. Anyway, good morning. We're going to start the day with Saturday beers for breakfast because this is a Beer for Breakfast morning show. I wish more people were watching, you bunch of cocksuckers. Anyway, I should put riots up there or protests, and then everybody be like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, they're protesting.
Then they'll see us, and they'll they are protesting our show. And then, by the way, thanks Robin for being here.
Oh, this is going to be our sampler today. Homemade, yummy.
I restrained that this morning. If you look at yours, and you have to shake it every time you drink.
I noticed that because it's separated.
Yeah, so I restrained it again this morning before I brought it out here. And man, I'm telling you,
I get to fix my hair.
I took a sip of that shit. It almost knocked me in the ass. I'm telling you. So it's good. That's good.
Well, let's see how good it is.
It's good and it's cold.
Yeah, it's nice cold.
That one's not going to freeze in the freezer.
Ooh, yeah.
You said you like pineapple, man, and I did my best. That is homemade pineapple moonshine. Speaking of that,
good to you, good through you.
Yeah, we'll probably play this again since no one's watching.
Get yourself 10 to 12 pounds of malted barley, 11 gallons of water, 2 packets distiller's yeast, 1 tablespoon of yeast, nutrient. Instructions: mash in the barley. Heat 7 gallons of water to 150 degrees. Add malted barley, stirring well to prevent clumping. Maintain the temperature 152 degrees for 90 minutes to allow enzymes to convert starches. Ferment the sugars after the mash. Raise the temperature to 170 for 10 minutes to stop enzyme activity. Then strain the mash. Drain the liquid from the grains using a strainer or false bottom in a mash tun. Rinse the grains with 2 gallons of hot water around 170 degrees to extract remaining sugars. Discard the spent grains and transfer the liquid warmth to the fermentation bucket. Cool the work to below 75 degrees. Take a hydrometer reading. Pitch the yeast, then stir gently. Attach an airlock and store in a dark place at 65 degrees for 14 days. Once fermentation is complete, siphon the liquid off the sediment. Distill using a pot, still to retain Scotch-style flavors. Age in an oak barrel or with oak chips to develop smoothness and depth. And that's the beer for breakfast, moonshine in the morning way. If yourself 10 to 12 pounds of malt and barley, 7 gallons of water, 2 packets distiller's yeast. Age in an oak barrel or with oak chips to develop smoothness and depth. And that's the beer for breakfast, moonshine in the morning way.
Damn right, that's how we do it. We're back. I'm promoting I Got My Body from Bacon at the Fish and Pig, North Carolina. Smoking little cigars out here this Saturday morning. Enjoying nectar from the gods.
Here's for breakfast.
And, you know, because it's cheap. And we like it like that. We like our beers like we like our women. Big and cheap.
Yeah, tall beer.
As light as possible. Anyway.
Would you like my shirt? I had a special made when we bought the Mustang.
Oh.
Void the warranty. Custom's cool.
Void the warranty. That is pretty cool.
I wanted to put a chip in the car when we first got it. Like, it only had 7,000 miles or something. That would have voided the warranty extremely. But I was like all gung-ho, ready to go, spend $300 on a computer chip. The wife about flipped out. She'll put it in your truck. You touching my car.
Okay, you buy it. I'll put it in my truck. What I need.
Just what I need, 10 miles to the gallon. Remind me of the 60s when I had my Charger.
That was it. Ooh.
That car got 10 miles a gallon, whether you're going 80 or 20.
Well, my
440s do like fuel.
Is it the Chevy is the 454?
Yeah.
The first motorhome we had was a 454 Chevy.
They're pretty rough on gas.
Not only, and it was I think that one was 36 feet long, So it had to, unloaded. It got. I mean, you were lucky to get 8 unloaded.
Yeah, well, that's a heavy vehicle.
You put the water in it for the to wash your hands and take a shower tank. You put your water in it. Any amount of clothes, anything. Then you got to put your food in it. And those things weighed up quick because you put all of your tools and your tires, and when you put weight on it, and that quick it drops down to 5 and 6. And if you go up a hill, it drops down to 3.
And it's got a 100-gallon fuel tank, which
really
also 7 pounds a gallon.
and to fill it up hurts so much. Then you know what's really it's funny because you stay on full forever.
Yeah, but when it drops
Then
fast.
you hit a quarter and you're still okay. But the minute it hits from halfway, from half a tank to no tank, it's like overnight. It's like somebody went and hired a midget.
In a parking lot and it'll go empty.
It's just the weirdest thing, man, to me. I don't know.
My truck's like that. It'll hold it like a quarter tank for the longest time. And then all of a sudden it's like, I got to get gas already. It's an eighth of a tank.
Yeah, but Tim puts like $5 worth of gas in his truck. He's got a full-size truck with a monster motor in it, and he put
twin turbos.
And I told him it costs just as much to keep it full as it does empty, but you don't. What we need is that New Jersey law. If we had that New Jersey law in Florida where you weren't allowed to pump your own gas, Tim would give a full tank and pull up and say, "Pump my gas, bitch."
Yeah, fill her up. Check the oil. Wash the windshield.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't want to get out and pump my own gas because I'm better than that. I'll be honest with you, I hate
don't like spending the time. I put $40 in it last couple days ago, and it felt like it took like a half an hour to pump that gas. And when it gets to the last 75 cents, they slow that pump to a crawl.
Boy, don't they? Oh.
You could pour it out of a freaking can with a leak in it quicker.
One thing, but my dad always said was, man, don't ever prepay for your gas.
Well, I never put enough in that.
These days you must have to, but
yeah,
you prepay for your gas, man, it'll kill you. Anyway, here's what we usually let you see.
Squirrelies.
That's our squirrelies out there having a good time. We're all just having a hell of a time out here in the beautiful Lake Placid where my trees are down. And
yeah, we had a hell of a storm. 2 days ago?
Yeah.
5.5 inches or something they put out.
Yeah,
it was nuts.
It was a crazy storm.
Well, let's see. Today in Lake Placid, we're sunny and 75 degrees. We're going to go up to 92-ish. A little too chilly for me.
That's some shit.
Binghamton, New York, where my son lives, it's 62 degrees. Their high is only going to be 71. We started higher than they did.
Wow.
And they'll be higher all day. And in Seattle, Washington, where my daughter lives, it's 54. Their high is going to be 61 as well.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? It's
Yeah,
like
it's
still winter or fall there. I'm like, God dang, doesn't it ever warm up north?
No.
I remember living there. That's why I don't live there.
No kidding.
Be right there. That should be him right there. There he goes. You gonna mess with the fishing line.
I used the wrong audio on that because I didn't take that video. I'm trying something with I'm trying to be sneaky with YouTube. But I changed the content so they can content my boohoo for all I care.
Gotta be very sneaky.
Yeah. Well, YouTube has screwed me for so many years now. If I don't get a screw in every once in a while, I feel like I'm being cheated on.
Yeah, it's like, boy, they forgot me.
Oh, yeah, I'm like,
I feel left out.
I deserve some of this.
At least a kiss once in a while,
Yeah.
Oh, I made some little notes like I usually did. And on Friday, in 1975, Jaws came out in the movie theaters for the first time. That was 50 years ago. That would have made me 13 years old. And I remember going to see that movie.
I would have been 6 or 7. And I remember, like I was telling you earlier, I remember a parody song. And I remember my sister, older than me, they was all a joke to them. And because they knew it was a movie, my family isn't retarded. So they knew it wasn't real.
At least that half.
yeah, at least that half. Yeah, I got that recessive gene. You can't breathe that out.
There's always one in the woodpile.
There it is, and that's me. But they would go, because we were only 45 minutes from Daytona Beach, and that is if you didn't drive fast. So my sister was old enough to drive, and she would be taking that. She had this little old Datsun, like a 1968 red Datsun station wagon.
Oh God!
And about that weekend, it broke down on the Halifax Bridge.
Oh, not a good spot.
Oh no! And this was in the 70s, early 70s. Well,
and people rolling by in muscle cars going 100.
Somebody took her to a phone booth. She called my dad. My dad jumped in the truck and went over there and pulled that. This is how you know it was the 70s. My dad took a rope, a chain,
and a bungee cord,
and told her, "Put that shit in neutral. And you see my brakes, you put on your brakes, because I need you to stop me, or you're gonna run into me, and I'm gonna get out here and whoop your ass right here in front of all your friends." She had a carload of friends.
Oh God.
Yeah, the car. She just let it overheat. You know how girls are.
Yeah, my wife blew up a Volkswagen doing that. A newer one that had water engine, not a air cooled.
I'll tell you, there's something about Volkswagens that I really like Volkswagens on that because they're tough, man. They're like a motorcycle.
Oh yeah, you can beat the shit out of them forever.
Well, you remember the original Hondas when they first coming over here in America, the little bitty cars?
Oh yeah, the little Civic. It was tiny.
Yeah, it was tiny. It was like smaller than my car, and that's hard to. Yeah, it looked like a smart car.
And now, who would name a car that stupid smart?
Oh, I don't know.
That's like an oxymoron.
I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand any of it.
Oh, you know what I was thinking when you're telling that little story about your sister? Someone took her to a payphone. Let's see you take somebody to a payphone today.
You can drive from now
I
until...
haven't seen a payphone except out in California. That was about 10 years ago. There was a whole bank of them. There was like 15 payphones back to back, just in a big long row.
Yeah.
Half of them, the thing, what do you call it? Thing you talk to, the receiver. Yeah. Half of them were gone. It looked like somebody tried prying the coin thing out of them.
Probably did. I remember when I was a kid.
And there was a liquor store right near it. That's how I was
there. My dad would stop every once in a while and use a payphone. And I remember the first thing he'd do is he always carried a snot rag, a handkerchief. He'd put that in his hand and hold the receiver, and then he would go like this to the side and put his hand on his side and rub that phone off.
Get the germs
off
it.
Get the jerry curl off of it. Dad said, you got to get that. My dad said, and black people put all that stuff in their hair, son, and then it just gets all in my ear and it messes everything up. And he wasn't lying and he wasn't being rude.
Yeah. The last time I actually used a payphone was probably close to 30 years ago when I had my satellite business. There was one bar in Pennsylvania, just over the border from New York. They had a payphone that was still a dime. And you can call long distance on a dime.
Wow.
I used to call back to the office for 10 cents, and I had a cell phone right in my hand.
Wow.
But it was cheaper to use the phone for a dime than it would be to use the time on my phone.
No,
because I had to pay by the minute phone.
Cell phones back in the day, though, man.
Now they call them burner phones.
Yeah.
So the druggies can throw them away.
Yeah, and people that refuse to pay $100 a month.
Mm-hmm.
But
hell, $100 cheap now.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
I pay $15. I get a track phone. I got the old people. What's his name? The Cheers, the guy that ran Cheers, Sam
Malone. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he advertises this phone for old people.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one I got.
It's like a flip phone.
No, it's that. It's my cell phone.
I know 2 people that still use a flip phone.
3, because Tony does too. Yeah.
You know they even make them new now.
Yeah.
You can buy a brand new flip phone, and you look at it, and you go, "What the hell? The 80s are calling, dude."
And I told her, I said, "Look, I can turn you on to some things where you can make some money online, honey, but you have got to get a smartphone." She goes, "I'm not doing it.
I'm not going to be that smart."
I know a lady right now that would pay you probably full price for a brand new washing machine and dryer for your washing machine and dryer. because she will not put the new washing machines in. She won't buy them.
Huh.
She has been on Facebook.
She just wants an old school
She
washer.
wants an old washer. She don't care if it's used. She don't want nothing.
Well, it's going to have to be if she wants the old school.
And I told her, I said, hey.
You'd think they would just make a basic, like how you buy a strip pickup.
Yeah.
It's just got 2 seats, 4 tires.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, what do they call that?
A base model.
Fleet, yeah. Well, fleet. Well, remember they were
fleet vehicles.
Yeah, fleet vehicles. Yeah, like for your buying it for your shop.
Yeah, or the guys
that might have an air conditioner.
Electric company, they buy like 40 of them.
Yeah, they're all ugly colors and
cheap shit, nothing fancy, barely has windows that crank up and down by hand.
If you're lucky, it has an air conditioner, and if not, they'll send you to the Eli Whitney company, and you can buy one of those if you plug it. Jesus, that shows how old I am. Pretty probably just listening to this.
I don't think Whitney's catalog is still around.
I think it is. I looked it up. I think I remember looking it up last year, and yes, I do think it is.
Remember they used to send you a new one in mail every month.
Every month, and man, and I would
J.C. Whitney.
J.C. Whitney, Eli. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
I think it was J.C. Whitney.
Eli. No, Eli.
There was an Eli something that was for car parts.
I don't, yeah, because I remember Eli Whitney, but I looked through all through it. Right, I was so excited. Like, I want that. I want that. I want that.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad would say, none of that shit that says it's going to fit your car is going to fit your car.
Yeah.
So just none
supposed to fit.
Probably.
Well, that's like I just bought a new seat cover for my truck, and I'm just dreading putting it on because no seat cover is going to be easy installation like it says on the box.
No. Not if you do it right, it's even harder.
Yeah. You know, it took me like 6 years to figure out how to get rid of the center headrest in the front seat. I couldn't get that son of a bitch out to save my life. I was going to take a Sawzall and cut it out. And then I was watching a video about something, and the guy says, oh, well, the best thing to do is to remove this headrest if you have one of those folding center seats because it makes you a console. And he said the headrest covers the cup holders, so it's makes them unusable. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. And he goes, now this is how you get them off. And he gets way down in the cushion and pushes this little button on each post, and it slides right out.
That's the way Tony's are. Yeah.
And I couldn't find those buttons to save my life when I didn't see that video. But once he said they're way down deep
then you go, oh, okay. Well, no
and then
shit.
I popped it right out, and it's under a bed in the spare room.
I forgot what the fuck we were talking about.
J.C. Whitney.
Yeah, I looked past that. I don't remember.
Here we go again.
Yeah, this is our
Some
normal
things
show.
never change.
No, this is our normal show. I can get on to something. It's a good thing no one's paying attention yet, but y'all better fucking watch later.
Yeah, if you want to see how to make a moonshine, you can replay this video at any time, any day of the week.
Yeah, and you can see the birds.
And by the way, that moonshine recipe is legit.
It is totally legit.
Yeah, you can make it, and you don't have to be a brain surgeon to
and
do
it.
Ready?
Fuck yeah, the copper pot, the whole still setup, the stove still, is about $80, and it's worth it.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh yeah, and you can
How
get stainless steel.
Where are you going to buy moonshine? You know, it's not like you just go out and get it. Not good.
And your first 6 or 8 batches are going to taste like ass.
It takes a little acquired skill.
But if you make it and follow the visual instructions on the video that I just made, that I spent literally 2 hours making, almost 2 hours making. It's a how-to video, exactly what you need. If you pay attention, and look at the video, I tell you where to buy everything.
Yeah, there's brand
That's
names
what I
on the
use.
packages
That's
and
what I
everything.
use. And maybe you could pick up a sponsor. But yeah, that's what I use. Those are the products I use. And that's why I figured, well, don't put something out there if I haven't tried it, then I'm kind of an idiot.
Like you said, taste is in the proof's in the pudding, so let's try some pudding.
I'll try some, dude. I'll mix that. Why not? Nothing says stupid rednecks like
homemade shine in a mason jar.
Homemade shine in a mason jar, mixing it with cheap beer.
And having nobody watch.
I don't care about that. Oh my God, that's good. God, that's good.
That's some kick in the glass.
But and see, because I use coconut water and not coconut milk, that's why it's not overly coconut, and you can still get that
Yeah, because I'm not a big coconut fan, and I wasn't sure I was going to like it, but it's such a background flavor.
Well, that's what I tried to explain to Tony when I did the apple pie moonshine. Is you have to have a catalyst. You have to have something. You're going to have the booze. You're going to have that.
Right. You need something to balance out the flavors.
Right. And so if it would have just been straight the way that the recipes online tell you to mix it, then all you're doing is pouring apple cider. Well, it doesn't taste like apple pie.
You might as well call it a mixed drink.
Right. And so what I do is I use the catalyst
flavor in it.
Coconut water is neutral. It has almost no flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that pineapple is a heavy flavor. So
yeah, it's very dominant.
The pineapple is gonna take over, and sometimes the pineapple's too strong. I mean, like because that's almost smashed pineapple out of a juicer. I mean, that's strong pineapple.
It's still pretty strong, yeah.
Yeah. And that's almost literally half and half of pineapple juice and the coconut juice.
Huh.
But you can't tell it because it's real juice. It's real pineapple juice. It's not go to get ocean spray.
Right.
Shit.
Not artificial.
Yeah. And you pay a little bit extra for it, but man, it's
here's an interesting fact.
Tell me.
All pineapple juice that is sold in the United States comes from the Dole Company.
Huh.
And that's why pineapple juice is so expensive, because they have the market cornered and they mandate what it will cost.
Really?
Like Snapple was making their own little orange juices, and they had a really delicious pineapple, and their jars were like shot glasses.
Yeah.
You know, they were kind of small, and they had to quit making it because it was too expensive to produce and sell at the rate that all the other juices were, because they had to buy the pulp from Dole. So they discontinued it.
You know, that's like that's almost like cornering the market. That's not fair. I mean, that's not fair to consumers. Well, it's the same thing with antifreeze. It's only made in one factory in the entire world, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
And that's in Arizona. And the same thing with refrigerator motors.
There's no cats there because they feed them the antifreeze to test it.
It'll kill a dog. Wait, I think that one of the reasons that antifrease is more expensive now.
They changed
it.
Kill it. Yeah.
But the same thing is with refrigerator motors. So, one company, and I think it's Arizona, makes Kelvinator,
Frigidaire,
Amana, Frigidaire, and I think it's the company that makes them is called Kelvinator, which is the original name for Frigidaire.
I think I've seen that before on an old.
No, you can still buy it. If you can find one now at a lot of the
just an appliance
store will sell you a Kelvinator refrigerator or a deep freezer. Buy that because it's bare bones, no bullshit. Buy it.
Right. Get rid of the computer bullshit.
Get rid of everything. It's just and it will last you forever. That they all make the same motor. A friend of mine who was a drug dealer owned about 6 furniture stores called Big Sandy. 2 of them were in Florida, and he got in trouble, and I managed one of them while he was in prison.
That is trouble.
It was trouble. I met the guy because I drove his Porsche home one night. I didn't know him. And he was like, "You look sober." And I said, "I am." I said, "How do you know I was sober?" He goes, "Well, you just got here."
There's a line I'd never pass on.
But I'm like, "How do you know I was sober?" Because you just got here and you're walking straight. I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "Hey, drive me home." And I'm like,
"You're the only guy in the whole bar that can walk straight."
I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?" He goes, "I'm Bill Van Hoos." I'm like, "Okay, who the fuck are you?" He says, "Look, man,
I'm the guy with the Porsche. Get in."
He said, I'm gonna give you $100. You just take me and put me in my parking lot at my furniture store. I'll pay for your taxi on top of that to take you back. I said, "Fuck that."
Sold.
I'll take you there, and I'll have the bitch that brought me come and pick me up.
Give her $100.
Give her $100 for the taxi ride.
There you go.
And then he's like, when he's sobered up or whatever, a couple days later, he saw me and he goes, "Hey, you're the first person that's ever drove me home that didn't dog my car out, man. You didn't." I said, "I can't afford to fix that motherfucker." So,
right, you ain't gonna beat on something you can't afford to
fix. And I figure if you can afford a Porsche in the early '90s,
yeah, you had some money.
You probably could get me killed. And I was in the military. I was home on what you have to understand my military thing because we weren't always. I was deployable. you know.
Right.
So there was nothing going on.
You're there as needed.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really weird.
And
People
you never had a legitimate job.
People hated me. Okay.
Because you never were supposed to be there.
You know what sheepskinning is, right?
No, I don't.
You get if the government, the United States government will sheepskin you if you do the type of work that I did, and so you don't exist anymore.
Oh,
so
okay.
So then here
it is kind of like what I was thinking in my head, like a condom they call sheepskin.
Yeah,
it's protecting.
Yeah. And it's not protecting you,
right?
So
it's insulating you from them.
That's what was so weird because I got a DD-214 in my pocket as ID. I got my Florida driver's license in my pocket as ID. I go over to Jolly Roger Bait and Tackle over in Clewiston to get a 1-year fishing license. And they said, "Oh, you don't. This isn't your social security number." I said, "I've had the same social security number since I was born."
That's the one they gave me.
I said, "Here's the card." He goes, "This number doesn't register on any of our files." I'm like, "God, y'all got to fix this shit." So we go over to Roland's, the Roland Martins, which is just around the corner.
Right.
And he goes,
"Been there many times."
He says, "Ron," but the lady says, "Ron, we look Martin."
Here's our producer.
Yes. He said, "Ron, we got a problem. Your number's not showing up. You don't exist." So me and Tony are freaking out. And we're
like, I'm done paying taxes.
Me and Tony are like, "What do you mean I don't exist? I can't get a fishing license?
I'm
I can't
standing
get
right
nothing."
here. Here,
Shit.
pinch me. I'm live.
Okay. By the way, Tony got a bone to pick with you about cats.
My white kitty?
No, the little kid cat.
Oh, I don't know where that cat went.
You told me they took it.
They didn't take it.
Oh, they didn't take it to Crystal. That's why.
I would have brought it to you.
Where'd they take it?
I don't know. I don't know where the kid came from. I don't know where he went to. He left the cat in a cardboard box with some cat food in it. And he just walked away, and my wife happened to catch him on the camera.
Was it a little girl, a little boy, or
a little boy? I don't know how what she called little.
Yeah.
Might have been 5 years old or 25.
Me and Tim think it was that probably 10 or 11-year-old kid that chased his bulldog over here.
Remember the one the dog was, and he's like, "Oh, please go home, just please go home," and he's trying to drag the dog. And the dog weighed more than he did.
I was out there fishing, laughing. I could almost hear Tim laughing inside, but I didn't. But
I was snickering.
I'm trying not to laugh out loud, but this kid's walking this dog. This dog weighs twice what this kid weighs.
Oh yeah,
this dog was a monster. You know, you can tell.
That dog was jerking him all over.
Oh yeah, that kid didn't have it. That dog was going where he wanted to. Luckily, that kid finally talked him into taking him where he wanted.
He should have just hopped up and rode him like a horse.
Really? No shit.
Grab him by the ears and steer him.
No kidding. Yeah, really. Like an old mare from the thoroughbred from the racetrack. You just tap her on the ear till turn.
Yep.
That's a big dog, man.
Yeah, that was a big, strong dog.
And he looks. You know what was so funny is. He had the color and the face shape of a lab and the body of a friggin' bulldog. He was a big dog.
I kind of thought he looked like a Roddy or something like that mix.
Well, maybe, because he had that body.
Because he was a stout
Yeah,
body.
he was way more too muscular to be a chocolate lab. And he had the chocolate lab color perfect.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because he was red. He wasn't black and he wasn't yellow. He was like a brown color, a light brown.
Yeah. He wasn't a bad looking dog.
No, he was a good looking dog. That's what somebody was waiting for, is Jethro to talk to him.
Speaking of crazy damn dogs, his fur's growing in, did.
Yeah, sometimes.
This week.
Yeah, it all depends. If we spray him off again, he'll be fine.
How you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while.
He's like, where's my fucking cat food?
Come here. Come here, silly. No, you ain't gonna come here? All right. Oh, you can't hear me. I forgot.
Sometimes it's
no, he's getting away from here a little bit.
Yeah, he heard me knock on something the other day.
Got him in acousticon.
Hey, listen. I got that pineapple moonshine out on the counter. Leave it out because I didn't realize it.
Don't worry about that.
I didn't realize it, but as I grabbed it, I was going to bring it out here for me and Tim, and I saw that sludge in the bottom, but I had already started shaking it up. So
Needs to be drained.
I wanted to settle it one more time so I can do it.
Oh, you guys strained it out?
No, I just poured the rest of it out and then tossed it's basically tossing the heads away anyway when you're doing moonshine.
Right.
I went to get you want to see what I did on the moonshine video?
Sure.
Oh, it's good.
I went to get you this morning. Come here, I'll show you. And what
want
do
a
you
seat?
No.
Here's the if you're listening later to all the later people, you know that it's Saturday and we are at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, here you go.
And we normally don't do Saturday.
By the way, I literally spent almost 2 hours making this stupid ass video.
Okay.
But it was worth it.
Oh, it was absolutely worth it.
Get yourself 10 to 12 pounds of malted barley, 11 gallons of water, 2 packets distiller's yeast, 1 tablespoon of yeast nutrient. Instructions: mash in the barley, heat 7 gallons of water to 150 degrees, add malted barley, stirring well to prevent clumping, maintain the temperature 152 degrees for 90 minutes to allow enzymes to convert starches, ferment the sugars after the mash. Raise the temperature to 170 for 10 minutes to stop enzyme activity. Then strain the mash. Drain the liquid from the grains using a strainer or false bottom in a mash tun. Rinse the grains with 2 gallons of hot water around 170 degrees to extract remaining sugars. Discard the spent grains and transfer the liquid work to the fermentation bucket.
What that is it doesn't matter. No one's watching right now. And they have to understand that my wife's watching this and she matters more.
No, I can't read it. Oh, mash.
Mash is a term given when the liquid in the water plus malted cereal. Wort is the term when it's all been drained out and strained and everything else.
Oh, okay.
Well, I put that up there because I wasn't too sure people would know what the hell I was talking about, and they would be thinking worth and
transfer the liquid work to the fermentation bucket. Cool the work to below 75 degrees. Take a hydrometer read. Pitch the yeast, then stir gently. Attach an airlock and store in a dark place at 65 degrees for 14 days. Once fermentation is complete, siphon the liquid off the sediment. Distill using a pot, still to retain Scotch-style flavors. Age in an oak barrel or with oak chips to develop smoothness and depth. And that's the beer for breakfast, moonshine in the morning way. If yourself 10 to 12 pounds of malted barley, having gallons of water.
They can watch it. They can go, oh, I can probably see what our thing is, right? That's Pickles. That's Tim's cat, ready to take the shit out. You bitches get in the way.
Yeah, don't break into my house. The cat will kill you. Don't worry about the owner. Worry about the cat.
Really, no kidding. But well, that one that I sent you, that one that I sent you yesterday was so cool because I made Pickles squatty.
Yeah.
And Pickles is squatty.
She's like a NASCAR cat. She's got a short wide. She takes corners well.
Squatty.
Yeah. She's got the shortest little legs for a cat her size.
She does.
She looks like a dash hound.
Yeah, she does it. Well, Tony said that that's a special breed of cat. I didn't know that.
A hot dog cat.
I just thought she was retarded.
She lost a bunch of weight.
But you said she was gaining it back.
Well, she's like maintaining now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh well.
She's a woman.
That's true. Can't predict what they're going to do.
Well, just so you know, I didn't tell Tony about the cat until this morning.
Oh.
I said, well, since it's been a week, tomorrow will be a week. I said, I'm going to tell you, for our birthday, God sent us a kitty.
I know. After you told me that, I felt terrible that it didn't hang on to it.
I said, and Tim said, screw God.
No, my wife was all in. I mean, I only heard secondhand.
And
so me and God are still good.
Well, see, that's what me and Tony have always said when it comes to pets.
Yeah, if it's meant to be, it'll
they have to
happen
come
like it
to
does.
us. Jethro came to us. Our two kitties. Tony was walking around looking for plants, and this guy goes, I have these two wild cats. And Tony brought one home, and I said, you got to go get the sister. And listen, we named them Mia and Marcy after Pulp Fiction. That's how long ago this was, people. We had Mia Wallace and Marcella Wallace, and they were brother and sister. That's how old I am. Anyway.
I love that movie.
Me too. But Mia had a curl-up tail. It looked like a lollipop. It curled up. Oh, yeah. It was like if she stuck her tail up, it looked like a lollipop. It was round.
Yeah.
And Marcy had a tail that was what? Crooked?
Just a little bitty one.
And it was crooked. It was all crooked. Both of their tails were so that we felt like
they got kicked in the ass.
So I told Tony, I said, you got to go get her sister. You know, you got to go because they're
matched up.
Yeah. But even though they didn't look nothing alike, but they were both, man, we got them cats and their eyes were hardly even open. So they should have known nothing but us. They didn't want you to touch them. They didn't want you. But I cooked Tony pork chops for breakfast one morning.
Only in the South.
Only in the South. And this is in Austin. I made her pork chops and probably grits and eggs. And I come home. I took her to work, and I come home, and I called her and said, I know you probably didn't, and you might not remember this. I said, oh, you probably didn't, but did you throw a piece of that meat on the floor? And Tony said, no. I said, well, then one of the cats was up on that counter.
And you know it was Mia.
It had to be. But then one morning, I'm downstairs. Tony's getting ready for work. I'm listening to the Dale and Bob morning show in Austin, Texas. And Tony goes, Ron, come up here. You got to see this. I come up. Scared me to death. I thought my cat was dying. Marcy has my goldfish hanging from his mouth. You don't remember that either?
I don't remember that.
Marcy reached into our fish tank, and we had fish tank. We were big fish tank people in Austin. And he just saw that one goldfish, and he goes, I think I'm going to take this shit. And he takes it and runs it all the way upstairs into her bedroom. And she called me up there. She goes, look at this. And Marty's over there going, wah, wah, wah. Don't come near me, bitch. I'll kill you.
They were so cute.
That was funny.
That's why I told him when we get another cat, we're going to have two of them.
That kind of reminds me of the story when you were going to go camping, and you took her to a camping store. You walked out with a motorhome. So much for camping.
That was my camping.
Now you're clamping.
Yeah. I bought a hat from that specific expo that we went to. That we decided it was going to be a motorhome for us. And I wore that thing for so long that I sewed on another back to it. And it was just a Smith & Wesson hat, and I don't even like Smith & Wesson. But I got the hat from there, so...
you only had to pay $100,000 for it.
That was a really cool expo because the motorhomes weren't really what was featured. We went out there, and I think it was in Georgetown or somewhere in Texas, and it was close. But it had everything. There was it was family. Me and Tony had seen people cooking in Dutch ovens, and they were making everything. I mean, the cornbread on top and the stews in the bottom. And there was these people on these big slides, and it was like a festival. They turned this
a boring thing into something fun.
They turned a dumb buy my motorhome, buy my tent gear, because it was a camping expo.
Right.
But when you went there, it wasn't. It was all this fun stuff. Oh, and by the way, come check out our camping stuff. Normally, it's check out our camping stuff and go get a free breakfast and leave us alone. But this was not that, and it was great. We spent probably more time there than we spent
Anywhere.
at any festival like that we've gone to. Because we went to, there was one downtown Austin that we went to.
We used to go to places.
Yeah.
It's like going to a county fair, you know. You
Yeah.
walk in and anticipate just walking around once, grabbing an elephant ear and leaving.
Right.
And you end up spending 4 hours there walking around, people watching.
I knew the day that we were done going places when I said, hey, the Clewiston Fair is tonight. Drive me by real slow so I can take pictures. I'll lean out the window and take pictures. You just drive real slow.
Our friend went with us one year
To the Sugar Festival. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, to the Sugar Festival. Because we only stayed about 15, 20 minutes.
No, we stayed longer than that.
I know, but it seemed like that, and she hated it.
Yeah,
she because she wanted to stay the whole damn day.
And I told her when we left, I said, you need to drive yourself. She goes, no, I'll ride with y'all. And I'm like, all right.
You're living when I'm leaving.
But you know us.
Yeah.
You know? But she goes, I'm never going there with you two again. And I'm like, fine. Fuck
I didn't want you to go with me to begin with.
Because, and you know what? The second time me and Tony went to the Sugar Festival, we drove to the back. I went to one specific guy that I know online that makes that Cajun food. What's it called? I remember because I went and made some for him, and I got me and Billy Clay some.
Yeah, I can't remember.
He's a Cajun cook, and so he told me where he's located. The Tony drops me off on the backside, and I walk up, and the sheriff's deputy comes and gets me, and he goes, "You can't be here." I said, "What the fuck?"
I'm not existing.
He said, "This is back. You can't come the back way." I said, I said, my wife's right there. I'm going specifically straight over there. I can see their thing.
I'm going to that guy right there.
He says, well, I'm going to have to walk you to it. And he grabs my arm. And I said, you need to let the fuck go of my arm.
You never told me that story.
You saw it. You had to say it. Yes, I did. Oh, yeah, I did.
She's busy playing on the radio.
And I thought, but anyway, I said, I said, you need to not touch me. He goes, I won't touch you, but I need you to get away from these RVs. He goes, these are rich people.
Oh.
And I said, what now?
You know I'm not.
I said, what? He said, these are rich people, and they're, you can't go over here. This is their private section.
Oh, God.
I said, you need to call Steve Whitman and tell him that Ron Smith just now got accosted by his deputy. And as soon as I said that, the other guy over there went, drop it. I walked right my ass over there to get my little thing. And then I came back and I ate them and I took it. It was gumbo, shrimp.
I mean,
I went and bought that same day. We went right and bought crawfish. Yeah. It was so horrible. I was so mad because I had talked these people up so much and told all my friends to go. I even bought a bowl for Billy Clay,
and it came out crappy.
It was shrimp. I want crawfish, man. I want mud bugs. I don't want shrimp. As much as they charge you at those fairs.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're paying top dollar at the fair.
You pay $10 for a cookie.
Yeah, well, boy, that's there at Jackson.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Beer's like $23.
You want to make a muffin and a beer last me and Tony all day long? That's what there at Jackson. One beer was like $15, and it wasn't even a big one.
Yeah, I went to the Meekum auction a couple times with my buddy at the Ford dealership, and we'd always have like executive passes to go up into the lounge and shit, where just your average person there couldn't go in. So we had like a special bracelet, and you go up in, and the beers weren't as outrageous as downstairs, but you're still paying $10 for a can of beer.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Go get us 4 beers."
You pay for it.
Oh yeah, he threw me $100 bill.
Oh,
he said, "Go get us 4 beers. Keep change."
Oh, good.
He says, "You're driving. You're my driver." He'd pay me $100 to go to the Tampa auction with him, walk around and look at cars, which I'm a car guy, so I enjoyed the hell out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, that was the first place I ever saw a smart car live. And I says, "I wonder if I can fit in this." I cannot fit in a smart car. Well, it's like the Mustang. It's hard as hell for me to get in.
Yeah.
But when I'm in, I can put my feet straight out and not even touch the firewall.
Right.
It's huge. And getting out, you got to roll
Oh
out.
God, yeah.
The
I
only
remember
thing
we
that
used
makes the Mustang usable for me is the top goes down so I can stand up and get out. We had those T-Birds. Remember the little T-Birds that came back?
Yeah.
I could not ride in that with the roof up because my head would have to be tilted onto my shoulder because it was so short. The seats were too high, the roof was too low, and I was too damn big.
Right.
It was terrible.
Well,
we drove to Christmas down in Fort Lauderdale where her sister was living and had Christmas with her. And we had that car. We had the T-Bird. We had a bunch of them because my buddy would guide them at the auction. He was selling them like crazy in Pennsylvania where his dealership was. He'd come down here as a snowbird. He'd buy them all up and send Florida cars to PA.
Wow.
No rust. Well, he'd let us drive things like I drove a Z06 for
Here still.
He the fuck out of that. It was bright yellow.
Oh God.
And it had a 6-speed standard shift.
With one of those paddles?
Oh, it had the paddles too, but you could manually shift it with the shifter on the console. I was doing 150 miles an hour from the corner of Sun and Lakes to the Moose Lodge, and I made the turn into the parking lot, never slipped a tire.
And there ain't no fucking way he was even remotely sober.
Not even close. I was jamming the gears. I went from down on Delta, which is the far end of Sun and Lake, picked Jim up in the car, and we were going over the Moose to have some drinks. And I went 30 miles an hour all the way up Sun and Lakes, in like 4th gear, baby in it. He kept looking at me funny. I get to the corner, and I says, "What?" And he goes, "I can't believe you're driving this car normal." And I says, "Well, do you care if I get on it?" And that was the first time I stomped it. I went from 1st gear to 6th gear and back down to 2nd gear to make the corner. And he gets out of the car, kneeled down, and kissed the sand. And he says, "I have never seen a person shift a car that fast in my life." He says, "You need to be a race car driver." So, Lucky Casa says, "I am a professional race car driver."
No, Lucky's great though. Man.
He is a riot, and he's smart as hell.
Oh yeah, he's good. He's probably up there with Dulcich. Probably.
Yeah, him and Dulcich do a show.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
I need to start watching that.
They did it a little for like a season.
Lucky, but I like Lucky because when he has that old Andy Griffith car, that cop car.
Oh yeah, he's got.
And they're like, "We're gonna pull it, and we're gonna see who can pull the strong." And he goes, "This is my favorite car. We're not doing a pull off of this car. I got too much time, money, and love invested in this car. We're not doing a pull off of this car."
Yeah, he's crazy, and he'll always take a wrench and go ding. Cookies are done.
He's funny. Lucky is you won't remember it, but he's the guy that was on Roadkill Garage a lot and stuff. He has the gray hair, kind of.
There was a guy that came into the Moose Lodge who looked exactly like him, and he had the right glasses and everything, like the plastic rims like you're wearing. They fit him perfectly. He looked just like him. He had the same face, beard, hair, and I always called him Lucky. And he goes, "Why do you call me Lucky?" I says, "Yeah, do you know who Lucky Casa is? He's on car shows." And he goes, "No." Well, I pulled him up on my phone. And now, when somebody says you look like someone else, you look at it and you go, "No." He looked and he goes, "Holy shit, that does look like me." He says, "I could be on that picture."
Me and Tim watched this guy that he plays himself in 2 things.
Oh my God, this guy's nuts.
He says, him and himself, his buddy, is fishing. He says, and black guys call white people all kinds of things. Well, the black guy at the oil change place called him twin. He goes, "I guess I met my twin today." And the other guy goes, "You met your twin?" And he says, "Yeah." He goes, "He called me twin." He says,
He says, "I don't have twins."
He said, "Do you remember playing with him when you was a kid?" He goes, "No, I don't ever remember." And the other guy goes, "Well, it seems like you'd remember your twin." He says, "Yeah, but I don't remember him." And he says, "Huh?" He says, and he's black.
He said, "I don't think I'm black."
He said, "Well, he can't be your twin if y'all don't look alike. Does he look like you?" He said, "No, he don't look nothing like me." He said, "Well, then maybe y'all had other daddies then." Wait, then you wouldn't be twins. You would just be brothers. And black people call older guys unk, for uncle. He goes, you know, the weird thing happened to me the other day. I was in Walmart, and some guy thought I was his uncle. He goes, do you have is he your nephew? He goes, no. He goes, I don't have any black nephews.
He's how many nephews do you have?
He counted off a bunch of nephews.
He goes, I got 7.
He goes, but I don't have
He
any.
ain't one of them.
He said, I don't have any black ones.
He goes, maybe he's from outside your regular family, and he's really your uncle.
Because if you don't understand how black people talk, because they talk totally different, you know. I mean,
they have their own slang.
And if you're friendly with these people, if you're older than them, they'll call you dad. They're like, Dad, come here, or uncle, come here. That's how they do. It's like a sign of respect.
Or pops.
Or pops. But if they call you buddy, that means they're not your friend.
Hey, buddy.
Buddy is an insult. Buddy is an insult. Yeah. But it was funny to listen to them because I watched a couple of them last night. It was funny. But I got hooked on that Southern Draw Law last night again, and I gotta get to the end of those videos.
Yeah, you're gonna run out eventually.
Yeah, well, if he makes more, like two a week or something. Man, I'm telling you, until you start doing this live streaming thing, and then start actually putting videos together, you don't realize how much work goes into it. You just don't realize how hard it is. Like I tried to do, I did a show for an hour the other day, an hour and a half, and because there was this guy in chat, I talked to him, and as long as there's somebody talking back to you, but there are guys that'll go on for hours and just talk. And so the amount of show prep or the amount of bullshit that they've got in their head is phenomenal because I lose interest. I'm over here like this, and I'm like, well, I want to go listen to this. Oh, wait, I'm live streaming. Let me.
Well, that's like when people ask me what's our Beer for Breakfast morning show all about. I said, well, it's about some hunting, some fishing, some politics, some current events, and mostly bullshit.
Yeah, it's two guys.
And they're like, you mean you just sit around and bullshit and talk to each other?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, with the microphone on so everybody else can hear what we're talking about. It's like going to a bar, sitting there by yourself, drinking a drink, and having two guys that are half drunk sitting at the other side of the bar having a funny conversation.
That's exactly
what
this is. That's the best way to describe this, really, is
it's about nothing.
A bird's eye view, except for, how would you say that? It's like a hidden microphone at a bar.
Yeah.
Like two guys, if Lisa set a microphone down and didn't tell us.
Right. She caught everything and put it online.
Recorded. That would be it, which is probably a way to make money.
Yeah. Because there's some.
Lisa, I tried her watermelon stuff. I like watermelon now.
Oh, good. Oh, that's it. Well, good, because that's starting in the morning. I'm making watermelon moonshine here in about, I don't know, not too long.
Speaking of moonshine.
I'm not doing another one.
We got some pineapple moonshine that Ron.
You see how clear it is since I restrained it?
And this is delicious.
And it is. Oh, it will knock your ass in the dirt. It's
booyah.
It burns.
It even smells like booze. You know it ain't just water, folks. This is not a breakfast drink, except for us.
And it burns going down.
Oh, yeah.
It burns going down. You know that's the real shit. Ow!
Well, it tested 100% grain alcohol before you mix color into it and flavor.
Yeah, and it's fixing it. And this next batch is going to be even stronger.
And the longer it sits, the stronger it gets.
And I didn't expect that.
I know, I didn't either, but man, I'll tell you what.
That
I've been nursing.
A drink, you kind of go, whoa.
I know.
Yeah, it's like you can't fake it. You know,
I took a sip.
You walk out gasping for air.
I took a sip of the what do you call it? Brand honey, the apple pie moonshine that she had in the freezer.
Oh, that's some good stuff.
Oh my god,
that'll put your dick in the dirt.
I'm not telling you, man, because I took a swig of that and went because. This isn't dangerous because you can taste the alcohol in it.
Yeah, it gives you a little common sense.
The apple pie,
it was so flavored that you didn't realize it was like drinking water.
Yeah, it was like drinking apple juice. It's like, oh, I remember being a little kid at school drinking
apple
juice.
They put that in my bottle when I was a baby. I loved it.
And he gave me a whole pint of it. That's great.
And apple juice made me poop.
Oh my god, this stuff is. But this turned out great, and I think that the watermelons are going to turn out great too.
You know, like I was saying earlier, I really don't care for like watermelon flavored things. But we went out to the Sugar Sands Distillery here in Lake Placid, and they make moonshine. They have the most beautiful still.
Oh, I know.
And it's almost a work of art.
Hold on a minute, I'll show
so
you.
Beautiful.
Hold on a minute. Keep talking about it. I
And-
got it.
Oh, do you? And
Yep.
we went out there, and the girl said, "Well, we're really not open, but being you're the only one here, and I'm the only one here, I'll give you a taster. So whatever you want to try."
That is the
Oh, there it is.
that is the still he's talking about, as a matter of fact, people.
Oh, it is gorgeous.
That is let me go back to that. That is the, what is it called? Sugar Sand?
Sugar Sand. Yeah.
Sugar Sand Grill. That is their moonshine stills. And
It's
son,
quite the setup.
and son, let me tell you something. If they could use my recipe and they'd let me in there, I would
You rock their house.
I think he would like my recipe.
Well, back to the point of my story.
I'm sorry.
was that I didn't care for watermelon flavored anything, and I'm not even really huge on watermelon. But
No more, huh?
yeah, the only flavor of the moonshine that my wife and I both agreed that we really liked, it was watermelon moonshine. And of course, it's like store-bought kind of moonshine. It's not really that potent, not like
Yeah.
our stuff.
Yeah.
And we bought it. It was $60.
Well,
And it wasn't a very big bottle. It might have held a little bit more than that
yeah, 'cause
mason
that's
jar.
only, what is that, a pint?
I think it's a pint jar, yeah. This might have been like a pint and a half, but it was $60 damn dollars.
Yeah. You know, especially when, now see,
And it was probably about 60 proof.
the proper way to make this watermelon moonshine is to not use a catalyst.
Ah.
They the proper way, quote, proper way, they say is to they say anyway, the proper way is to brew your moonshine, make your moonshine, and drop the watermelon Jolly Ranchers in it.
Oh, just like you put a cinnamon stick.
Yeah, I'm not doing that because I think it would be too strong and it would taste like shit.
Yeah, it would overpower it.
Yeah, it would.
If you can make it liquid and regulate the flavor.
And that's why I'm using the coconut. I'm mixing the coconut with the watermelon. The same thing, the catalyst.
And you know what the best part of doing it that way?
You can taste test it forever.
It's just like spaghetti sauce when you make it. You got to test it. You get the sugar content, the whole content just right, the freaking garlic. You got to have it right. So
Yeah.
you have a whole meal before you ever get to the real deal.
Oh, and see, that was
That's like Thanksgiving to me. I'm full before I ever sit down and eat.
And we never sit down. It used to drive Tony crazy because we wouldn't sit down to eat because I would just start baking. I started doing the turkey at 2:00 in the morning.
Yep.
So at 8:00, it's pretty much done, or parts of it, where I'd be cutting that part off, and then the stuffing was already done, and I already made a pan of stuffing.
Oh, I love this stuff.
And the gravy, I'm just grabbing the guts out of the chicken or out of the turkey. And a lot of times I would take thigh meat and cut chicken thigh.
Oh.
Just to add some meat to the gravy because it's a dark meat, and
Right.
it would make the gravy better.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah, because I like meat in my gravy.
Because I love to make Thanksgiving dinner. My wife, she could care less about that because it takes half the day. Well, I'll get up at like 6:00 and I'll get it all. I'll make all the stuffing. I'll stuff the bird. I'll have a pan of it on the side. I'll get the whole bird prep, put it all in the oven, cover it in foil, let it cook for like 3 hours at 350, and we got the thermometer in it, the whole deal. And then as it gets close to being temperature done, I take the foil off and let it brown the skin, which is the best part of the whole damn meal.
Of course.
Other than my stuffing, because I have the stuffing recipe my mother made, and she said she had Thanksgiving at my house a couple times. She goes, I didn't have to do all the work. Your stuffing tastes better than mine, and you're using my recipe, which was my grandmother's recipe and her mother's recipe.
Do you put boiled eggs in it?
No, I never heard of that. But it's like a third generation recipe that it's been word of mouth. I never wrote it down. I just remember it.
I met this 70-something-year-old woman from Boone, North Carolina. Actually, from West Jefferson, North Carolina. That's where I had my trailer pulled to.
Okay.
She was so ill. Let me tell you something. She literally had combat boots. She wore boots.
She was so ill. Her last name was Billy.
Well, it was Bear, and they were related to Bobby Bear.
Oh,
I know this later because I ended up having a kid with one of their kids. Anyway, that's Justin's mama. Anyway, but it was her great grandmama, and she had a beard. I mean, this was a hill woman. This was a hill fucking
And she didn't
woman.
shave it.
No, she was fine with it.
Right.
They only went down into West Jefferson. They lived in the mountains. They only went down to West Jefferson about once every 6 months.
That's why you don't marry your cousin.
Well, because they didn't want because people stared at them because they were country. Oh, try that, Tim.
It's a pasta salad.
Oh, I love pasta salad.
Oh, yeah, that's a weird one.
Well, it's not. It's got mixed vegetables in it and cucumbers.
Bring him a plastic spoon out of the on top of the
No, I
refrigerator.
want him to try it right now. I want him to take
Oh,
it
I
home.
do. I want
Oh,
it.
that looks yummy. I can paw one out of there.
I don't give a shit. It's yours.
Right.
I
This
love
is an
these little
idea.
containers.
This is an
They're cool.
idea that I know. Me too. This is an idea that I came up with one time because we didn't want to go to the store.
Good plan. Eat what you got.
Well, one of our favorites is a friend of ours at the Brotherhood of Catfishermen.
Ooh, that is good.
Yeah, at the Brotherhood of Catfishermen, one of their events, this guy brought his wife brought this Weight Watchers noodle salad, and it was all fruit, but she was keto, so you could eat all the mayonnaise you want.
Oh yeah.
So it was a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of, and she had all of these vegetables, like salad vegetables. It was tomatoes, cucumbers, stuff like that.
Right.
So Tony said, I gotta have something to go with these hamburgers. And I said, well, I saw you bought these noodles. She said, yeah. I said, well, make that noodle salad that Mike's wife always made at the Brotherhood of Catfishermen. And she said, well, I don't have any fruit or any, the vegetables, the cucumbers, the salad vegetables.
Right.
I said, well, you got mixed vegetables, right? She said, yeah. I said, put mixed vegetables in that shit.
Vegetable.
And it worked.
Yeah, and when they're chilled, they're all good.
It really works in the salad. But now she's got mustard in there, and I don't know what all else. But
it's good though.
I thought so.
Yeah. Now when it's like you make with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy and I. He had his family owned a cabin on this lake in the middle of nowhere. And we took these girls out there one night and we're all getting screwed up. And we planned on spending the night there, of course. He says, I'm hungry now. Yeah, I'm hungry too. So he decides he found pasta noodles, like spaghetti noodles.
Yeah.
He made spaghetti of noodles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't have any like spaghetti sauce or anything like that, but he had a ton of vegetables that were in the freezer.
Same thing.
He took and threw it all in, and it came out so freaking delicious. I'll never be able to duplicate it in my life because we were too damn drunk to remember what the hell we put in it.
I can't believe when I tasted that when she made it the first time last weekend, 2 weeks. This is our second time making it.
That's cool.
I was like, holy shit.
Good stuff right now.
I mean, because it's summer and we're out here in the middle of Jesus Christ. We're 6 miles from Glades County.
We're in the desert.
This is the Everglades, brother. Almost, I mean, like this. No, it's hot out in this bitch.
Oh my God, that tree sitting right under a walker.
I know the walker's gone.
It's holding it up.
I know. It was a hell of a walker. It wasn't a cheap one.
Man, I'll tell you what, that's worth every dime. Holy shit, I can't believe you painted on that.
Yeah, that is what's holding it up, isn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna go get a better video of that later. Yeah, that might make it easier for us to cut it up.
It will, because normally you want to prop one end up so you cut it, it breaks.
So what about my idea of
that is insane. insane. It hit dead center like you were walking.
I know, yeah, no. And I told Tony, well, we're gonna have to buy you a new walker, and I got
to. You got to learn to lean a lot
because I use that walker sometimes with my body's messing up. So I said, well, we're gonna have to get something.
That is insane.
It's holding up.
It's holding the whole goddamn tree up.
I need to go get it. I'm gonna get it. Anybody that's watching, I'll get a new video of that before me and Tim got there and start destroying it.
Oh my gosh!
I have come to a conclusion when I was thinking about the plans that I had for this morning's show, or because I said don't call it a comeback because we're not back because Tim's still working on that job. But
we're almost back.
But I was gonna put this. I got a murder pool.
Oh my god!
For Tim and me, and I was gonna put it together last night. But then I thought, well, what I was gonna do, and I'm gonna have you know the sawhorses in my 2x4s laying on.
Yeah.
I got those white boards. Those white boards, right?
Oh yeah. The plywood.
I need you to let us put that against the wall. I'm going to lie to people and tell them that I forged all of those blades up there. Right? Because no one's watching the show, so who gives a fuck?
You can say whatever the hell you want.
Whatever I want, right? I forged these. I was on season 3, episode 6 of Forged in Fire. Go find it, bitch.
Yeah, we make up our shows and go along anyway.
That's the whole point. This is bar talk. If you're not talking shit, then you're not talking. You're not enjoying. If you're not talking shit at the bar,
you are having a good time.
Then you're at the wrong bar.
That's right.
So,
it's like put down the silk napkin and go to the real bar with a paper.
Go over there where you can talk shit.
Yeah. And smoke.
And smoke. Well, yeah, no, I wish I could go over there. I can't go to bars because I fight, man.
Yeah, the last time you and I went, you wanted to take on 3 different guys. I'm like, Ron, finish your drink. It's time to go.
I'm a jarhead. Look, man.
It puts you in that mode right away.
I get into that. It's a respect thing. If I go to a bar and I'm paying for the beer and I'm talking to my friend Tim and talking shit to the lovely Lisa,
and some asshole down the
and
way,
some guy won't shut up and he's so loud, I just want to go over there and choke him out. I want to do a what's his name, Derek Coben. I want to do what he did to George Floyd. I want to drop him, put my knee on his neck, and say, "Sorry, see you later." Wasn't that his name, Derek Coben?
Something like that.
He stabbed him 38 times, man.
For as big a guy as that fighting guy that you Floyd. As big as tough as he looks, he's got the freaking faggoty voice.
No, that's Mike Tyson.
Oh, Tyson, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
He's got the most fruitcake voice you ever heard. It's like, dude, your nuts are up in your stomach somewhere.
They got to be, because he's got, I'm telling you, wherever his nuts are,
they got to be like freaking watermelon. He's a monster.
He is a monster. But, you know, and it's
one punch from that guy would probably break your skull.
Oh, probably. Normal people?
Yeah. He would kill you with one punch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That when he fought that white guy, and I think the white guy beat him, wasn't that like a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
But Mike Tyson admitted, I'm getting high before the fight.
Well, he's only been beaten like 4 times his whole career.
Yeah. Mike Tyson's like, I'm going to make like $12 million for this fight. He actually was like, I'm going to make like $12 million for this fight. And
I just got to show up.
I got these 2 big old gaps in my front teeth.
That's so the pistol slip right through.
I'm telling you that his thing is birds. His thing, I think he got rid of most of his lions. He had white lions or white tigers. I think he got rid of those. But his real passion is pigeons.
Really?
Someone killed one of his pigeons and he lost his shit. Listen, man,
he's the guy you don't want to piss off.
Here's the thing. I know that in the 80s, 90s, he was charged and went to prison for rape. But
I remember that.
A lot of people believe that he didn't do the rape. And I just like, I don't think Michael Jackson screwed little kids.
Michael Jackson wasn't all that.
I don't think
he was just reliving the childhood he never had.
And I think that this woman saw Mike Tyson as an easy mark and thought she was going to get paid, and he fought it.
Yeah.
And you can't fight the man. And back then, even the black guys were treated like shit, even
Right.
worse than
You lose just showing up.
yeah. Back then, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, and he was a rich black man that. Oh, he was uppity. So yeah, I'm all on Mike Tyson's side on that.
And all the white people are going, oh no, we can't have this.
Yeah. Well, no. At this point, we're like the white guys are like, wait a minute now, that's Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
Shit.
we like Mike Tyson, but
I don't know.
he's still overly rich and thinks he can do what he wants, and he ain't us.
But I know. But the point is that it's like that whole Bill Cosby thing. You're going up to a hotel room with Bill Cosby. He's 62.
A super celebrity.
You're 27.
Yeah. What do you think's going to
You're
happen?
getting fucked, honey. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be rude, but
that
everybody knows why you're there.
Everybody says, "Oh, she was asking for it." Well, that's like the biggest cop out, and they get all pissed off about it. But if you, like you said, if you're going up there with a super celebrity who's 35, 40 years older than you, and you're the girl, you know what the hell you're thinking. You aren't going there.
You know what? You're going there for the money. He's going there to get pussy.
You're not going there for a freaking cocktail.
Right. You're going there
for
the
cock.
cock. Yeah. Great minds, brother.
There you go.
I don't understand that. I never, you know what people are after.
And then they all claim, oh, he attacked me. Well, why do you think you were there?
Yeah.
That was your call.
Yeah, you went. No one forced you to go up to the hotel room. That was my thing.
Yeah, he didn't hold a gun to your head. You voluntarily went up there knowing that sex was on the table.
You won't know who this is, but if Cameron Manheim would say, if I met her at a bar and she said, would you come up to my room and we'll talk about giving you a part in the next TV show I'm writing?
Right. Now that's a different scenario.
I would be like, listen, I know you're not a TV writer, but you're fat. And I really liked you on The Practice. So yes, I will go up to your motel room with you. But I'm going to be praying that she lets me jiggle that belly. I'm going to be like, come on, baby. Let me jiggle that belly. I'll be rolling the dice. Come on, baby. She went up when she won her award for that show. She was on The Practice. It was heavy set, very heavy set. And she said, they asked her, where's your fashion come from? She said, earrings, Target. Dress, Walmart. She was straight up. She was like,
yeah, my fashion ain't no Gucci.
She's like, well, yeah, because when you're, 325, 330 pounds of a woman,
yeah,
you're not going to Kristen Dior to get your shit. She's like, I can go over to the plus size and just as nice.
Victoria's Secret ain't carrying your size.
Oh, they got a secret.
The size they carry that fits a girl that big is called a awning.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
That's
you can go to for big women. You can go to Catherine's, Lane Bryant, Torrid.
I have no idea.
Well, no, but I'm married to a relatively plump woman.
But I don't know what those stores are because I've never shopped at that type of store.
Oh, so you don't have the same porn problem. I mean, addictions that I have. Yeah.
Oh, I got addictions, all right. But that ain't one of them. Like you always say, everybody's got their own kink.
And I do not. Me and Tim do not kink shame. We do not kink shame on Beer for Breakfast in the Morning. We want to see if your kink is crazier than my kink, and I'm promising you right now,
you ain't gonna win.
I don't know about Tim, but you ain't gonna mess with my midget kink.
Oh my goodness, this man is. Words do not come close.
All right, listen. Here's the deal. I got to make money somehow.
What's that website that you do?
DeviantArt.
DeviantArt. He's got some stuff on there that it just blows my mind. I look at it and go, what the fuck is that?
I'm like $7 a day. That's
I'm like, sold. It's like I can come up with that.
All I gotta do is create art. And it might be weird, kinky. Hey, by the way,
art's art.
That underground plumbing shit that you said that you have that makes stuff stick underwater.
Oh yeah.
I need that because my boat's swimming around. My tank is running out of water again.
I see it. Yeah. Oh.
I want to put this on there so I can find an underwater light. So my lighthouse. If y'all are paying attention,
It's got a little.
I have this
fish tank
little
over there.
lighthouse. I have. It's a massive fish tank. What the fuck are you talking about? I think every bit of. Well, you know what? Hold on. Ah, darn it. If you look at it with the naked eye, it looks like a 10-gallon fish tank, but it's really only 5. I want to stick that on the inside.
On the glass.
On the glass, because it'll help the fish on the, so that way the fishy sees. I don't know what I want to do. I want it so the fish can have babies in it.
Oh.
Because the fish won't have babies.
Can they swim through those little vents?
Yeah, but they'll fight though. They'll fight for because it gives them protection.
Right.
And well, there's a hole. See.
But yeah, but that's where your light cord. Well, light cord
yeah,
don't
no,
take the whole thing either.
No, I would. Well, you couldn't put a cord in it, so I just get a floating light, one of them.
Oh, okay.
Waterproof LEDs or something. Anyway, that's where I'm at. So, let's see. This is what happens when Tim.
I'm like a girl. If I see myself, I gotta fix my hair.
And I shaved 2 days ago.
I think I shaved yesterday.
Yeah, but I don't know why I got this Wolfman thing going on.
Yeah. Getting old's fun, isn't it?
I think it's Scottish. I mean, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, when you look at you on the screen, you look like you have a beard.
I know, I do. Really?
And you don't. You just have like a goatee thing, but it's just growing in a little bit on the side.
Yeah, and then everything else is gray. I mean, that's why I look in the mirror when I go there and take a piss. And our bathroom's got these big old mirrors.
Oh, I mine too.
And I'm like, oh, you don't even need to shave. And then I touch it, and I'm like, oh, that's because it's all white.
Yeah. Yeah, I look in the mirror and go, what the hell happened to my dark hair?
I look at myself in the mirror and go, what the hell happened to muscles?
Yeah, that too. I'm taking a full size mirror off the back of the door. I get out of the shower and I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to look at that.
I'm like, wait a minute, these are titties.
That's what I've been doing.
I'm like, man, I used to do, we would do literally 500 push-ups a day. That was our thing.
Yeah. With your feet elevated.
Most of the time on the bed, on
That's
our bunk.
What I always did.
Man, I'm telling you right now, I don't know if I can push myself up off the ground.
I had a challenge about 2 or 3 years ago from this young friend of ours. He's married to one of my good friends, Jesse, who's one of our listeners.
Oh, God bless you, Jesse. We're telling me happy birthday. Tim didn't.
Oh, did she? Well, that was nice of her. I didn't know about it until it was over.
You were here that day. That's when you let them people steal my cat away from me.
I said happy birthday.
I did that for Tony. Tony's mad about the cat.
But anyway,
fucking cat.
Her husband says something. We were talking, just drinking and talking and bullshitting. And we got talking about being in shape and stuff. And I said, yeah, I used to do 100 push-ups in like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, if that. I says, every night, 7 days a week. And he goes, you couldn't do 100 push-ups. I said, probably not now. He says, I bet you can't do 10. And I'm like, bullshit, I'll take that bet. So we had a bet. And I'm thinking, oh, shit, I can knock down 20 by the time it takes him to realize what the hell he had lost.
Mm-hmm.
And by God, I'll tell you what, when I hit 10, I about fell flat on my face. Oh. I have never felt so goddamn old in my life.
I'll tell you, man.
What is that, a magnet?
Yeah.
Man, that was strong. You had to smack shit out of it.
Well, put it down this way and pull it off. I didn't think so.
Oh, my God. You got to slide it off.
It's a rare earth magnet.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking that if I glue a rare earth magnet here
and put one on the outside of the glass, that some bitch will stay wherever you put it.
Yeah.
You could put that on the Titanic and it'll float to the top.
Play around, man. And I got more in here too somewhere. But that is.
I tell you what, that's a good bet item.
You're not pulling that.
You get some 40-year-old young stud muffin like Jesse's husband. He says, "Oh, I'm a tough son of a bitch."
I bet you.
It's like I'll bet you $100 you can't pull that bitch off straight up, not slide it off.
You can pull it up with your wife's fingernails, homeboy. That's a bad.
Jeez.
It holds my. It will hold King Cobra 357 Magnum with a 6-inch barrel under this table.
You can put that between two cars, back them up, and tow it.
It will really hold a King Cobra 357 Magnum with a 6-inch barrel under this table. I say that specific because I know.
I'm just looking under now.
Yeah. I know that to be.
Why is there a machine gun under there? God damn it! I never seen a magnet that.
Well, here, try it with the pliers. I mean, that'll give you a better idea.
I don't even know if the pliers would pull that bastard.
It will,
up.
right? It'll pop it right up.
Oh yeah, that was nothing with the pliers.
Yeah.
But man, by hand,
Oh,
you ain't bringing that.
No,
bitch
you're not
up.
pulling that up.
Listen to that thing snap down.
You're not pulling that up. I don't give a shit.
You could be the Incredible Hulk. You ain't lifting that bitch.
It's these rare earth magnets.
That is crazy cool.
They're expensive, but they're worth it.
God, yeah.
That's what's holding up my that.
You could keep a full fender on with that.
That VFW. Geez, I got that. I'll show it to you. I got that. The first time I came home on leave, because they said, "Well, now you can join the VFW."
Oh yay!
I know that's what I said.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen those on cars.
No, you haven't seen it with this. Though.
Oh shit!
I put one of those magnets on it because I thought it would stick to my tag. Guess what?
Tag ain't got no metal.
Tags are aluminum.
Are they?
Yeah,
that's why it's so damn light.
Yeah, see, but if you try to pick it up like that, it's straight up.
Yeah, but you got a little more leverage with that on it.
Yeah,
you're just getting a magnet.
And that's an old one. Look how rusty it is. You clean it up, it'll probably.
Yeah, it'll be probably as strong as that one.
Yeah, that's my old VS. See if you. This thing is older than most people that will ever watch this video.
Yeah, I've seen those in place before.
Well, see, I thought I was going to take it on my tag.
Yeah.
Most people glue it. Most people glue them on. I'm like, no, because I don't want to lose it because I've had it for so long.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool thing to have.
Yeah, and it's old enough that it shows age.
Mm-hmm. Now on cars they call that patina.
Oh,
you know what I call patina? A rusty old ass car.
Somebody didn't take care of their shit.
Grind it down and paint that bitch because it looks like an old rust bucket.
However, I do like it. Like when Joe Martin, when he does the, when he has Shorty go over there and sand it all down.
Yeah.
And it's still, because the metal's good, it's just surface rust.
Yeah.
And then they clear coat it and all that.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty sharp.
You know, Shorty's not on.
Yeah.
He's got his own show now.
And it sucks.
Yeah, they didn't last long.
It was horrible.
And the reason he left, he loved working at Martin Brothers, which is Iron Resurrection,
right.
The show's called. And he liked it there, and he was happy there. But his family lived like in Texas, I think, or another state because they're in Texas. And he wanted to go spend time with his family. He's getting older, and he had a new grandkid or something coming. So he broke away and started his own shop. And he's doing pretty well business-wise, but as far as TV-wise,
The
he
show.
sucked.
Yeah. The same thing happened to Cato.
Oh,
Cato
yeah.
was the travel guy. He moved to Georgia.
Yeah, he was the upholsterer guy.
And you know who his neighbor is? Goofy ass Rutledge.
Oh my God, Rutledge is nuts.
Rutledge is nuts. He does a show.
He is funny as hell, though.
Oh, he's funny.
And he's good on the NASCAR when he used to be a commentator.
He does a show with this chick, and it's called Southern Breakfast or something. I don't think it's still on anymore, but it was on like the Food Network, and it's Rutledge and this young, pretty thin girl that's not his wife. But they would go and they would eat like this woman had a tomato egg breakfast, and he's like, I've heard of fried tomatoes. She goes, these are fried, but these aren't fried green tomatoes. He fried red tomatoes and made this whole thing. I'm looking over there, and I'm almost pulling my pants off and jerking off. I'm like, holy shit. This looks like a great breakfast, man. One of the times
it's the small things in life.
I'm the epitome of living off the water country boy from the South. I mean, whether it's at the beach, me and Tony have caught fresh shrimp and cooked them right there on the dock.
There you go.
There's blue crab. Tony used to catch the blue crab. It was just nothing.
You never have to go to grocery store if you're willing to eat what's available.
Right.
Live off the land.
So we'll eat anything normal. And sometimes not so normal.
Yeah.
But, I won't tell you about the time that they told me that the next time that I bring a hog to the bar for the weekend barbecue, they need to see the feet because that was an awful small hog, and they thought that I maybe ran over a dog on the way home. But anyway, I never did that probably.
Possibly.
It looked so much, dude. It looked so much, and it did have its feet on it, but it was shaped so much like a dog that we were barking at it while we were cooking it.
Oh, Christ.
If it hadn't have had, we left the head on it to prove, because everyone, Richie Regal cleaned it.
As long as it had a snout, you're good.
Richie Regal's like, we are not going to be able to butcher this all the way out, dude. We have. He said, this looks like a dog. There's no fat on it, and it was the most horrible meat.
Yeah.
And what's funny is, on the backside of our property, my dad had a banana grove that was probably about 50 acres, all banana trees.
Damn.
And you could go down there, and the hogs just lived on banana trees. They would eat that sweet banana tree, eat the roots. They just loved it.
That was big biddles right there.
All the way around it was oak trees, so they had these acorns.
They had a balanced diet.
These were some well-fed pigs. But for somehow, this one was like the one with cerebral palsy or some shit.
The only one moving slow enough he would get.
He was walking over going,
he wore his helmet on sideways so he wouldn't lick the windows.
I'm like, come on, chill. I'm like, but we would go out there at night, and it was our private property. And we would go out there at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. I had my son's mother carry a full-size car battery. She said, I want to go hunting with y'all. I'm like, you carry the battery, bitch, for the light. And we'd go out there at night, and then we would see the helicopters because they could hear us shooting, and we're shooting mini 14s. Richie would be like, oh, look, it's up there in the tree. It's a raccoon. Because if you shoot the raccoon, throw it in the back of the truck, as soon as you're done, get to the truck stop before 6 o'clock in the morning, and the black truckers will buy the raccoons from you, and you just hold them up by the tail and auction them off.
Really?
We did it every weekend.
Huh.
It was crazy.
What did they do with it?
They put it in their truck, took it home, and ate it. That's what the fuck they did with it.
Dang.
Raccoon tastes good as fuck, man.
I never
and
had
they're
that.
Clean.
Really?
Very clean.
Good garbage eating some bitches.
But they're clean. They wash their hands before they do anything.
Well, you wash your hands.
No, I'll wash my hands before I touch my dick. I know where my dick's been.
Yeah, that's what I always say.
See, now the show's getting good, bitches. What?
Wash your hands before you pee, because I know my hands touch dirty ass shit, like money.
Or my door.
Or anything, yeah.
I pet my dog. I don't pet my dog with my dick.
That's right. My dick stays in his private little area, and he's happy there.
He's happy there. He's like it. And I'm white, so my shit just shrinks on up. I'm a grower, not a shower, baby.
It's like a button on a pillow. My wife.
They call me the Mighty Mighty Acorn.
My wife and Crystal started saying, "Oh, it's a button on a pillow," and I'm like, at first that was like offensive, and now I'm kind of finding it funny because I look down and go, "Damn." It's like, where'd the button go?
Wake up, bitch.
I got an innie.
Wake up, bitch. Wake up, bitch.
It's like, I know it's in there.
No, right.
Some bitch is shy.
Nobody cut it off. I know it's there.
He's shy.
He's ready.
He's a grower, not a shower.
Hey, look.
Remember that on Seinfeld when he got out of the pool and Elaine sees George naked and he goes, I'm a grower, not a shower. The water's cold.
It's cold.
Haven't you ever heard of shrinkage?
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I'm a grower, not a shower, but it's 660 degrees out there in South Florida. Well, I mean, there's that, but there's shade.
Yeah, well, we got, I was in the shade all day.
Actually, I was like, my penis is different.
I gotta shake the bitch out just to see
medically,
it.
the reason that your penis and your testicles are located where they are is because it's the safest and hottest place on your body.
Pretty close, yeah.
No, it's not pretty close. It is the safest and hottest place on your body.
Well,
and
if you get kicked there, you'll know that.
Well, that's because
that's why it's there, because it's hard to hit.
When God or whoever designed your body, I believe God did, he said, no man's going to be dumb enough.
Don't put that on his forehead.
Well, right. Yeah. No man's going to be dumb enough to walk around with his legs spread open, wear pants that hang down to his butt that can't run from the police or nothing like that.
Inside's up pants.
Jesus Christ.
I gotta hold the TV with one arm and my pants with the other and run.
I got a friend named Calvin Woods, and I'm like, and I'm friends with him, and I'm like, dude, pull the fucking pants up. And he's like, well, I mean, I do, but so I said, I'll buy you a belt. He goes, no, but this is the style. I said, I work in prisons. That's not a style.
It's
That's
a statement. I'm somebody's bitch.
That's an invitation. Oh no. When your pants are down, it means you're open.
Oh, I thought
it means
maybe
you're single.
somebody's.
No, because I mean, in prison, they will fight you over their bitch.
Right.
They will fight you over their bitch, and they don't want no other inmates looking at their bitches' asses. And they will make them go to the laundry, because I worked laundry for a long time over at Moorhaven. I watched them. I would study these guys, and they were guys that would tie strings onto their toe, and onto their penis, and they would tap their foot when they would, because the laundry was right by the galley, by the where the kitchen,
the dining area, yeah.
The kitchen, no, just kitchen.
Oh, the kitchen, all right.
And all the women worked in the kitchen. And they only let men work in the laundry because there's scissors, knives, there's all kinds of sharp needles. And we had to strip search people, and the women couldn't strip search.
Right.
Because we had to strip search everybody before they left. Because of needles, knives, and scissors. So, and even seam rippers, man, they will do a lot of damage with a seam ripper. Anyway, so the guys would come and talk to the guys in laundry, and then all of us are sitting there, and maintenance is exactly across the hall, and right next to us was the kitchen. That we were in one side together, maintenance was on the other side. And I would lean over on my little half door, and I would talk to the guy that runs maintenance. We would talk and talk. And then this guy would come, this black guy would always come. He was a red, we called him Red, inmate. And he would always start tapping his foot. But he would be over there talking to us, but he would be facing the other way. Like not looking at us at all, but he's talking, he's listening to every word we say, but he's staring at the women in the kitchen and he's tapping his foot. And so one of the inmates that I trusted that worked in the laundry came to me. His name was weak. He was black. We called him black. That's how black he was. And Black said he's a gunner. Every time he taps his foot, strings jerking his dick. Getting him away from here, he's going to hurt one of these women. And I'm like, what? And he said,
you're trying to keep a semi going.
He said, go in to help. He said, go have Sullivan, which is a guy that I know, which is a guard. He said, have Sullivan strip search him, and you'll find a string attached to his dick and his toes. It goes right down his pants. Sullivan comes back and goes, God damn, he had a string tied to his dick down his pants. I'm like, no shit. I'm like, that's one to jerk off pretty bad. And my guys would say, why are all these pants coming back with all the pockets busted out? And it's because these guys be like,
do a reach in.
Yeah, and they're called gunners. In prison, they're called gunners. Because they're like this. Oh, it was funny. I learned so much.
Stuff you really don't, normal people don't know.
You don't think about it, but then you start thinking about it going,
does that make sense?
Why am I walking around with Dixie? Like if I'm a woman, why am I walking around Dixie and this guy's got his hands in his pocket all the time? Let's see, remember the 80s and 90s? We used to call it playing pocket pool.
Right, pocket pool.
Yeah, we would talk about that. It was always the old dirty man in the van. Well, it's not always the old dirty man in the van.
It's the black guy in the jail cell.
Or the white guy that's oh my God. We caught so many people jerking off in the sinks in the middle of the night looking at the guards. And when we would do midnight searches, oh God. And I'm like, oh my God, these guys got to brush their teeth in these sinks, man. They wash their faces in these sinks, man.
Yeah, well,
I have a little bit of fucking respect for the people.
You got to have moisturizer.
Protein, that's how Cindy Crawford does it. The protein mask.
She still looks like she's 30.
She does. Cindy Crawford and Julia Roberts. Tony thinks she looks like a horse.
A lot of people call her horse tooth and horse face and all that. I'd like her. I think she's pretty.
Well, you know why I knew a girl.
She's like country girl pretty.
Yeah, see, because I knew a girl named Deechi.
That's an unusual name.
Well, she was her mother was from Okinawa. She married a Marine father.
Oh, that makes more sense now.
And they named her Dichi because it's a Japanese name. But she always wore the finest clothes. I mean, totally finest clothes. But she was a model.
Oh, well.
Even in this small town that I was in, she was a professional modelist. But she was like Julia Roberts. She was not fat. She was not chubby. She was not thick. But she looked it. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, she had a solid body.
She looked like, but no, if you saw her naked, she looked like somebody needed to give that bitch a sandwich or she was going to die. I'm pretty sure you looked at Julia Roberts and you're thinking, oh, she's totally not fat. Right. Not even remotely chubby.
Right.
But it's the way that their body wears clothes. Their bodies specifically fill out the clothes the way that the designer expected them to.
Right.
So it shows every curve.
Like an hourglass shape.
It shows every curve, and it's absolutely beautiful. Hello. Too early for Marvin.
Sounds like a riot over there.
DC was awesome. Oh, what the fuck I was up, but her mother's from Japan. She would kill you. Okinawa. Do you know that Okinawa?
Oh, look at her daughter.
She didn't care about that. Okinawan people live longer than anybody on earth. Anybody.
That's why there's so many of them.
They don't. All they do is exercise. I mean, I don't mean like they go work out. They just go walk all around the island.
Yeah, they stay fit.
They're constantly picking, growing. Everything is weird. I mean, and then if you talk shit to them, but however, a couple Marines did the sexual assault thing.
Oh boy!
On a couple of Japanese women, and
hey, that's a bitch.
Hey, listen, man. I've said this 100,000 times. People say he's a veteran. I'm like, trust me, that don't mean shit. A lot of people can be veterans. That doesn't it doesn't mean you're combat, and combat veteran doesn't mean you're good.
Right.
It means that you just got picked wrong and you went to the place.
Got shot at.
Yeah. Everyone always says, but he's a veteran. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
that doesn't make him any different.
There's
than
bad
anybody.
people in every facet of the world.
Every job has a dickhead.
Right.
Most of them are cops. But I mean, I don't want to get into that. That's Ron saying that, not Tim. Tim is police friendly. Ron is not.
Well,
Tim is a law-abiding citizen. So is Ron.
I'm understanding of who and what they are. Yes.
In the life they live, and that's a very.
I have a cousin that married a sheriff deputy up in New York, and he was like all the stereotypical crap a cop would be. He comes into Thanksgiving dinner. He was on duty that day, and he had a break time. He stops by his house, and there's a bunch of our family there. And he shows he's got his uniform on.
Yeah.
And he says, "You see this 10-year thing?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "You know what that means?" I says, "I guess you've been there 10 years or more." And he goes, "It means I can shoot you, not have to fill out paperwork." That's a typical cop.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's their mentality.
And it should be the atypical.
Right.
But you watch these videos like you say that...
and he's been in enough trouble for doing the wrong thing to the wrong gender.
Who's that guy that... the one that I think's got the funny name? It's not Buckethead. It's not Tomato-Head. It's Stinky something Bucket.
Chum Bucket.
Who watches that shit that I watch? That Lackluster and all those people?
Yeah.
And... you watch enough of that shit and you go, wait a minute now. This all cannot be a coincidence. But then I remember that my family, my aunt was major crimes of the Marion County Sheriff's Department. Major crimes. For years and years and years. Her job was murder. And she said, don't ever let anybody that is a cop in your house ever.
Yeah. She dealt with mother stabbers and father rapers.
She said if you have breakfast with them at the diner, if they want to come over and visit, she said, if you have a barbecue, let them in the backyard. Do not let them in your house because we're never off duty.
Right. You're always looking.
You're always looking, and then they're looking. They're like, well, how many guns do you got? None. I got no guns. I don't know anything about guns. I got all these knives that I forged by myself on the wall.
Just a habit.
But we got to do that today too. I got to put that thing together. We're going to do a video today. I'm going to show you all the sickles that me and Tim forged here in our backyard.
Yeah, we got a forge in the fish tank.
Yeah, well, yeah, we do have a fish tank, and that's what we're not going to harden the blades with because it's water. Because everyone knows that you harden the blades with oil because water makes them too brittle.
True.
It's very true. I learned that the hard way. I'm thinking that's just retarded.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I am out of beer, so I'm out of here.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure doing business with y'all. Thanks for listening.
Well, we have plenty of other boozes.
We'll listen again.
We'll
be back.
We have plenty of other boozes.
Well, that's all right. I'm about ready to go.
The moonshine got to Tim.
I believe it might have had a little to do with it.
Maybe. I know it's good though, man.
Oh my God.
I got to go there and start that. Well, today Ron is doing moonshine watermelon moonshine. Maybe I've had too much too. And we're doing it with Jolly Ranchers, real moonshine. Now, if you
Compliments of the lovely Lisa.
Yeah, compliments of the lovely Lisa, who we love. I won't say nothing else.
Bestest bartender ever.
Bestest bartender ever. And if you are in Lake Placid ever and you go to the Hideaway by the AutoZone
or Tim's office,
make sure that you tip the pretty blonde a lot. If a beer costs you $2, just give her a $5 and move on about your business.
There you have it.
That's what I always do.
Me too.
I'm all about over tipping, man. Fuck the bullshit. And always tip cash. Never tip with your card. Just don't get it hardly ever.
That is true.
Some dumbass bartender probably gets it. Or a bar owner.
Yeah. The owner's scarf.
Not a meal, of course. Right? I mean, he wouldn't do that.
They run a tight ship. I wouldn't put it past them. They have to pour an exact shot for every drink.
1 ounce?
1 ounce. It's in a glass. They pour it in a glass, pour it in a shot glass, pour it in your glass. If at the end of the day, she weighs them bottles every single day, she reads the register tape and knows how many shots of, say, vodka have gone out. If it is 3 ounces over, they overpoured, they charge the bartender back off of their pay.
No shit.
And that is highly illegal. But if you want to work there, you take the deal.
Jesus Christ.
And that's timeless in my book.
Yeah, that's bullshit in my book.
I agree. That's the only thing about him, which is my friend and his wife, that bothers me, because I don't think that's fair at all.
I don't think that is fair at all either. Hey, you got any ice in that cooler?
Barely.
Take that jar with you.
Oh, man, I haven't even touched the one I have hardly.
Oh no, but you can pour that in there and then
bring it.
It's all the same. It's all the same age. So.
All right, I'll bring you the empty jar back.
So now you are hearing how the show closes down, and this is how. And the doves. See, look. Oh, it's peace. The doves. We're ending in peace.
Oh, is that what they are? I was wondering what kind of bird that was.
We call those white wing doves.
I always call them love doves.
But no, love doves.
Because they mate for life.
I know they all do, but all doves do. But these are the turtle doves are the small ones. These are the big ones.
Right.
So these are actually mourning. And it's not mourning like.
Oh, it's like in mourning.
Yeah, these are mourning doves.
Oh.
And they call that because typically people shoot their mates down a clothesline somewhere. But yeah, they're bigger doves. See, you learn things with me now and then.
It is an educational show.
Yeah, well, that's what we do. We try to teach people things. It might be stupid things we teach, and some of them might be illegal. But
Most of the time we're making it up anyway.
and half the time it's not true. But what we do is you see, we make sure our birds are fed. See that?
The moonshine recipe is absolutely on the money.
The red, yeah, but it's a I wouldn't do that recipe unless I was really willing to let it sit.
You gotta let it sit for 14 days.
I would make it sit probably longer. I would make it sit longer.
Would you?
Yeah, but if you come and talk to me privately, I can tell you how to make it in about 6 hours.
Yeah, we can't do that on the air.
Oh, no, because I would probably get in trouble.
Jail time is not an option.
No. But I will locate you on where you can buy the stovetop still.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
It's been real.
I had a good time.
I did too. It's been a while.
Yeah, we
I
need to do
enjoyed
this.
it.
Yeah, we have fun when we do this the right way.
Yep.
All right, well, me and Tim are done.
All right, peace out.
I'm gonna play this song one more time and then we're out. Ella worked on it for almost 2 hours.
Get yourself 10 to 12 pounds of malted barley, 11 gallons of water, 2 packets distiller's yeast, 1 tablespoon of yeast, nutrient instructions, mash in the barley. Heat 7 gallons of water to 150 degrees. Add malted barley, stirring well to prevent clumping. Maintain the temperature 152 degrees for 90 minutes. To allow enzymes to convert starches. Ferment the sugars after the mash. Raise the temperature to 170 for 10 minutes to stop enzyme activity. Then strain the mash. Drain the liquid from the grains using a strainer or false bottom in a mash tun. Rinse the grains with 2 gallons of hot water around 170 degrees to extract remaining sugars. Discard the spent grains and transfer the liquid wort to the fermentation bucket. Cool the wort to below 75 degrees. Take a hydrometer reading. Pitch the yeast, then stir gently. Attach an airlock and store in a dark place at 65 degrees for 14 days. Once fermentation is complete, siphon the liquid off the sediment. Distill using a pot, still to retain Scotch-style flavors. Age in an oak barrel or with oak chips to develop smoothness and depth. And that's the beer for breakfast, moonshine in the morning way. If yourself 10 to 12 pounds of malted barley, 11 gallons of water, 2 packets distiller's yeast. Age in an oak barrel or with oak chips to develop smoothness and depth. And that's the beer for breakfast, moonshine in the morning way.
Beer for Breakfast Morning Show is brought to you by Ground Up Remodeling. Tim will take care of your needs from the ground up. Truly one of the best in Lake Placid, and we wouldn't let anyone else work on our handyman or home improvement needs. Call Tim today.